Continuing our conversation now with Matt Terrell, the former chief of staff for Marco Rubio's presidential campaign. Rubio, obviously now the Secretary of State. We're just getting some breaking news, Matt, that the hits just keep on coming. Iran's chief of the army staff and the defense minister were also killed in that airstrike, along with the head of the Revolutionary Guard and the security advisor, whose deaths had been previously reported. They were all part of a meeting, apparently, with the Ayatollah of the country's defense council, and that meeting was attacked, obviously, and those are among the many people who have been taken out by the United States. How does this change the situation in the Middle East? Does Iran become, does it get embraced once again by the world of nations, or do we just have to see what shakes out in terms of the type of government that they prop up here?
Well, certainly I think we have a ways to go here, but this has been a critical move that the Trump administration made here in obliterating the regime, and it's going to truly, I believe, be a reset for the Middle East. And, I think it's important that we're watching, of course, what's happening with this conflict, with this campaign right now. But people need to remember that this has been building up for quite some time. Even during President Trump's first term, we saw what he did with respect to setting in place the Abraham Accords. In his second term, we saw what he did in terms of normalizing relationships and building a greater relationship between the United States and Saudi Arabia. The bottom line is President Trump has been pulling countries away from Iran. Iran's never been more isolated than they are today. And so while Iran has had partnerships with China, for example, and this is, by the way, will have a big impact on China, particularly given how dependent they've been on Iranian oil. But the reality is, to answer your question, I do believe that this is going to be one of the biggest, if not the biggest reset we have seen to the Middle East, and hopefully will drive peace and stability throughout the region. That's been something, at least throughout my entire lifetime, that we have been hoping for, that Americans nationwide have been hoping for, people around the world have been hoping for. And the biggest threat in the Middle East truly has been Iran. They've been, as I mentioned earlier, as we all know, the greatest state sponsor of terrorism. To take out the regime is critical, but the next steps are even more critical. Recovery is key. And while this campaign will last likely a few days, few weeks, recovery will take years. And get in place the right government, the right leadership, that's mission critical. As President Trump discussed and mentioned, that'll be up to the people of Iran to drive that forward.
It has been a remarkably effective strike. I mean, it has decapitated the Iranian government, the terror government. But, the old slogan is, you break it, you buy it. So how confident are you that whatever government comes out of these attacks is going to be, friendly to the United States and responsive to the Iranian people?
Yeah, well, this was already, as we know, a broken product, if you will, with this regime in Iran. I mean, the reality is this leadership was not working for the stability of the region and, frankly, the safety and security of the world. But to your point, it really is critical to get the right leadership in place, and we'll see who takes form there. I know Secretary Rubio and others have touched on the how unpredictable it is, if you will, in terms of the line of succession. I know others have weighed in on that. It could be ultimately, I think, President Trump playing a key role in this, and he could take the blueprint that he used in Venezuela. In Venezuela, go ahead. I'm sorry, John.